So, Minos, you just got done speaking with the troll. Which, did I give you his name?
Rhaegar?
Rhaegar.
Yeah. Okay. Um, yeah, I'll go back over to Magpie. Um, so it looks like they're doing a race tonight.
That's good.
Big troll over there is their mechanic. So haven't really found the boss yet, but it's he might be out in the what's that place called? The Papal Room, whatever. Um, I don't know if I can fit back there, but you may want to take a gander, um, see what you can find. But if they're doing a race, that means there's going to be a lot less people here. And if we're going to do a, I don't know if we want to do like a snatch and grab or something a little bit more legal.
I don't know. It's maybe he's the kind of guy who keeps his treasures on him. May not leave it here.
He might. I mean, it'd be a good thing to sort of check, if he's got it on him. Um, if he's going to race with it on him, it may be something that we'd have to get overnight.
Yeah, I don't know. I can take a look, see what's going on.
Yeah. And if
You,
not, we'll head down and check out the race tonight.
sure.
See if we can
No.
see if we can see something new and interesting. Maybe
Oh,
an
if you,
opportunity will pop up.
if you hear some really loud noises,
I'll
might
be there.
need your, yeah. Let me go see what's going on.
We've shared comm link numbers and everything, so
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah,
in fact, you can just keep it on if you'd like.
that works.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go and look around.
Okay. You make your way back towards the papal office, and as the door is just kind of like half an inch to an inch open. As you draw near it, you can kind of hear some hushed voice. Well, they're not hushed. They're hushed to you through the wall, but they're just speaking cordially inside the room. You can only hear a word, make out a word here and there, but it sounds like they're speaking about something about tonight.
So I kind of just want to be inconspicuous, like maybe I'm reading something on the wall. Not sure, but just kind of hanging out there.
Okay. Are you trying to get a little bit closer so you can hear, or are you trying to actually look into the room?
Just so I can hear.
All right.
And
What do you have any
if
modified hearing?
I don't.
What were you gonna say, Minos?
how far away is this room from the rest of the main crowd of people?
So the main crowd of people is where the pews would normally be in a church, in a small church, and the bar
Okay.
is set up on one side of that. Then,
Okay.
in what would be like kind of in front of the pews, where the preacher or father would stand, is a raised deck about maybe 6 inches. That's the stage, and it extends all the way from the left to the right hand side of the room. On top of that raised 6 inch dais, there's that's where the papal office is, and it's just off to one side. That way, the parishioner, whoever's given the sermon, can step out from there, stand directly behind the podium, give their speech, and then they can go back there to prepare for another speech or speak with people
Okay.
in private and stuff like that. So it's
Well,
maybe 15
I
feet away from any of the action.
I'm gonna stand in between the majority of the pews and that papal office to try to block any sort of view,
Okay.
but just stand there and drink casually.
Cool. Well, in all the pews, just so we're on the same
Or
page.
they're just
Yep, they're
yeah,
all
they're
tables
tables.
and chairs now. Yep,
Yeah.
perfect. All like bar furniture.
I'm wanting to look more like wanting to give as little as few amount of people a view of Magpie doing his thing while he's doing his thing as possible.
Okay. Well, and for the most part, people are looking at you more than Magpie, anyways. They've seen plenty of elves. They've never seen a cybered out Minotaur before, so they they might even openly stare at you from time to time. Hope you don't mind. Um, Magpie, you're doing your thing. You get a little bit closer. Why don't you give me a check here?
A
Well,
perception?
a perception.
Okay. It's not visual, so I will not add that bonus. So,
And why don't we make that at a -1 dice pool because of the background noise?
okay. Oh, wow.
Awesome. So yeah, Elven hearing coming in handy right there, huh?
Yeah.
So, you can definitely hear 3 distinct voices. There are 2 gentlemen and 1 lady in the room. Now, one of the men seems to be talking about money coming in tonight, and the woman, she just interjects every once in a while, like, "Oh, honey, you don't need to be like that," just stuff kind of like that. And then the other person also mostly interjects, but he's like, "No, I'm not doing this. We can't do this again. No, I'm telling you right now, we are not selling to them. If you take one more bike over to the, just." And so he's kind of getting into it, a more heated discussion, as the one seems to be ordering the other person to stop with his nonsense, basically bitching about all of the money.
So, just like judging from the voices that I'm hearing, can I tell which one is like in a position of authority?
You do know you do suspect one of the voices is the more authoritative voice. Yes.
Okay.
We'll call it the first male for right now.
So just kind of listening for a while they're talking.
Okay. They talk about the financials basically that are happening for basically around the race tonight. It costs them money to get the correct permits, to bribe the correct officials, things like that. So if they don't get enough bikers to come and play in on the group or with the race, then they can actually lose money by holding these things. So that's mostly what the first guy's bitching about. Or I guess
Okay.
the second guy's bitching about. The first guy at one point loses his temper and says, "You know what? I don't even want to speak to you anymore. Get the hell out of my sight." And then that's when the second person, you can hear him start making his way towards the door where you're at, or near where you're at.
Yeah, I'm gonna make myself scarce then.
Okay.
Just
You see an elf, maybe 5'10", 5'9", steps out of the office. He obviously looks flustered. He's wearing the biker clothes, but his are obviously newer, a little bit more tailored to his body.
interesting.
And he's
Okay.
the only one that leaves the room. After he shuts the door behind him.
All right. Well, so that closes off that area for now. Maybe go back to the bar and just chat people up while.
So
while
what'd you
waiting.
find out?
I don't really know what to make of that. It seems like there was a bit of a kerfuffle though. You could hear it just as well as I could through the comm link. I don't know what any of that really means, except for the fact that this one guy is not happy about things.
So that guy that left, did he have a ring on by chance?
The guy that left did not. No.
Okay. Well, if it was about money and they're hurting for money, maybe we can help them.
Maybe, but I have the same problem.
Well, no, we can help them with the promise of more money.
I see. That makes way more sense than actually giving them money.
So who's the guy that we took the job from? What was his name?
Kenneth? Mr. Kenneth?
Kenneth.
Yeah, so did he give us any background?
No, not really.
He didn't give us
Just
any
that the
background.
ring was important for sentimental value.
He didn't give the client's name either.
Oh, no.
So maybe that's what I'll be asking about. Is I heard essentially like talking to people saying like I heard that some idiot got fleeced of their jewelry. Like what happened there?
Well, what? Yeah, we could do something like that, but they'll be interested like what do you care? Sort of the thing. But if we could find out this guy's name, maybe we're doing a job against them and we need something like that. We need one of their rings to basically um, kind of make a good duplicate of, and we'd be happy to pay them for the the use of that plus a cut of the percentage of whatever monies.
Yeah, I guess we could be, like, hey, we're runners looking to do a job on this rich dude. That could work.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well, there's still plenty of people to talk to here. You do notice people with different biker affiliations starting to come into the bar. They trickle in at first.
how's your Magpie? How's your B&E?
I mean, it's not terrible.
Okay. Okay.
It's not my best strength.
Okay. Just
I'm pretty good at talking my way into places, but
all right.
not very good at opening up locks, if you know what I mean.
All right.
So I think I'm gonna, yeah, just kind of talking to people, see if I can get any background on this event that happened.
Okay.
Maybe the bartender.
Yeah.
You
Well,
might know something.
as the bartender doesn't really want to sit down and talk. As people are trickling in, he's got a lot more work to do now.
Okay.
So he might have a few words for you here and there, but mostly he's jumping back and forth to doing serving.
Then maybe what I'm looking for is someone who looks like they've got their eyes on the whole place. Somebody who kind of knows what's going down here.
Yeah. Well, there's two people stationed as a bouncer type or indoor security. Both elves,
Yeah,
so they're looking around, obviously. And they're sitting in a stationary spot. They can't get away from talking to you.
Then I think that's probably where I'll go and start chatting them up about this.
Okay. You go to the bouncer security type that's kind of walking around the floor. You start chatting him up. You're asking him about the events that led up to someone losing their ring.
Yes.
Well, the race. What that took place? What, last week?
This is about a month ago that the ring was lost.
Hey, pal, can I holler at you for a sec?
Sure, man. What's up?
I heard something hilarious, and I wanted to see if I could get the story right. So apparently, somebody stole somebody's ring. It was a big thing,
Stole.
or yes, not stole. Won something like that.
Huh.
Apparently, it caused a big uproar. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, sorry. That sounds familiar. Oh, yeah. I think I know what you're talking about. The Hadids. The Hadids ring?
Maybe, if that's the thing that I'm talking about.
Some spoiled little punk kid with his father's money comes in here thinking he can run the biggest, nastiest, fastest bike in town. Shit, yeah, he lost.
Oh, one of those kind of people. Thought they had enough money to get a good bike, but don't know how to ride it right.
Yeah.
Hadids. Why does that name sound familiar?
The Hadids?
Yeah.
They own a small manufacturing company here in Seattle. Computer parts, chips, things like that.
Oh,
Influential
right.
people. In fact, I think they do a lot of the chip work for the traffic control systems here in town, I believe. The grid.
Oh, maybe that's why this kid thought he was going to be a good biker.
Yeah, he was a chump, that's what I know. Lucky we let him live.
Well, not so influential they can't get their ring back, I guess.
Say what?
Well, you said they're influential people, but they still got fleeced like a normal person.
Yeah, yeah, well, you know the Crack Rocks. Nobody's pulling one over on us. We're the biggest, baddest gang in town now, and everybody's gonna know it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's that other elf gang. What, the Ancients? What do they got? Nothing.
Nothing. They're about to be ancient news.
I heard that. Yeah. All right. Just kind of walk off. Okay, so the Hadids. What do we know about the Hadids? Can I make a roll on that?
Yeah, what kind of knowledge do you want to try to use?
Let's see. I think I'd just do area knowledge Seattle. I don't
Okay.
really have much else that would work.
You can both roll then.
Ugh. Um,
Not great.
All right. 3 successes total. That's enough, though. You have, you're able to pull up some old news stories and whatnot. Not about the father, but about the son. He has a couple, like, run-ins with Knight Errant, racing just way too fast for the residential, higher-end residential areas that he was in, giving police or security forces a hard time. But his father seems to have gotten him out of any trouble that he landed himself into, really.
Typical rich kid, speedster.
Right. And really, the only way that anyone would know about the Hadids is because of this scrub child. Otherwise, they probably wouldn't be in the news at all.
Sure. Okay, so do you think we want to try to run this con on the guys, saying, you know, hey, we're trying to run a job on the Hadids. We want to copy the ring.
well, let's. Who do we talk to?
Well, I mean, there's an office back there. Guy's probably the leader, I'm guessing. I can always ask.
Couldn't hurt. I'm just wondering what we will do as a backup, because the moment we start asking about a ring, actually, can we have them bring it up? Didn't they take Did they take his bike as
No,
well,
they-
or did you just take that?
Instead of taking
Zero
the bike,
race
I
with
think they
things.
took the ring.
Okay.
Not exactly sure how that came up, but yeah. This may be just a thing we're gonna have to wait till tomorrow. Like, we spend the night doing the racing thing, and then maybe I sneak in here and check the office, see if he hides it in here.
Could, or maybe just attend the race. Maybe he's got it on him.
Yeah, maybe. But
And if
I
he
don't.
doesn't, maybe we can swing back here in the evening, because there's going to be a lot less people. That's for sure.
It's true, or really early in the morning, maybe. Yeah, I think the race is going to be the place to get some more good info, because it seems kind of I don't know, weird to just kind of walk up to people here and be like, "Hey, what about this thing?"
Yeah.
Yeah, I think unless Minos says something different, I think we're gonna finish up our drinks and then leave this place.
All right. Yeah. You guys finish up your drinks and you take off.
Did he tell you where the next race is going to be?
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll just maybe kill some time until that happens.
All right. Around 11, 11:30 at night, so you kill about an hour, hour and a half or so. And then you can make your way. It's a little bit east of where you're at, but within half an hour, 40 minutes.
Okay.
We'll go there.
All right. This starting spot is an underpass. It's fairly well lit from the street lights above. There's maybe, let's say, 70 people there, mostly just gathered around to see the start of the race and whatnot. It looks like there's only 9 or 10 racers, but they're all lined up on the queue.
Okay.
So, there's probably a lot of people like around there talking, right?
Yes. Let me take a couple things back. Actually, most of the bikers are sitting there lined up on the queue. A few of them are still getting ready and lining up.
Okay. Anyone collecting purse money or slips?
Yeah,
Anyone who's in charge of the race?
There are a couple bookies making their way around, or people handling cash for the bookies making their way around. Is that what you're talking about, or?
No, is there someone in charge of the race that's overseeing everything?
Yeah, looks like there's a elvish woman, rather tall,
Okay.
lithe, very lovely. She goes by the name of Duchess.
Okay.
Duchess.
And she's the one that has the itinerary for like which racers have paid their fees to race and everything like that.
All right.
I'm looking
Yeah.
for. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, well, I was gonna say, does she have any jewelry that would match the description of the signet ring on her?
No, well, she does have a lot of jewelry. You don't see that ring.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to get a sense of who are these people like looking to.
Okay.
Yeah.
They keep talking about their guy named Romeo. Romeo's favored to win.
See if they are looking to anyone when they say that name.
They're obviously talking about somebody, but they're never looking towards anybody. So you might be under the assumptions that person's not there yet, or they're aware that person's not there yet.
Yeah. So yeah, if there's like a crowd, I'm gonna hang out in the crowd and just be like, "Who's Romeo?"
You don't know who Romeo is?
No, I'm new here. I just got here.
Yeah, you're new here. Jeez, what's wrong with you? These scrubs nowadays. Nubian. Man, alright. Romeo is the fastest thing on 2 wheels in Seattle in over a decade. He's won
That's-
4 times in a row on the half pipe challenge with full payload. Going all out.
impressive.
You know what that means, right?
Means he's a really good racer.
Yeah, he's a really good racer. In the half pipe full out, they let any weapon mods through. Romeo's won 4 times. That's a record. Even in the Seattle streets to this day.
Cool.
You kind of
where
obviously
is
look
he?
unimpressed. You just, what the hell's wrong with this guy? Where is he? He looks back over his shoulder. You see what looks like a throng of, maybe a dozen people. They're very, very tightly packed circle around a motorcycle and one guy.
Oh,
They're off to one side. It looks like they're going through like last second checks and things like that over the motorcycle, or people are talking to him, patting him on the back, things like that. But it's just you can't see into the dense throng of people directly surrounding Romeo at the moment.
so Romeo.
Yeah, that one's Romeo.
So, what makes him so good?
Man, he's the fastest.
Right, but why? Is it his bike? Is he just that good?
No, anyone can ride the bike. It's the driver.
Because I mean, you just press down the throttle and you go.
You never raced a bike before, have you?
No.
Yeah. You ever take a 90-degree turn in less than 20 feet at almost 100 miles an hour?
No.
Exactly. Romeo can. You ever shoot a grappling hook one direction to help change your momentum while accelerating into another?
Let me guess. Romeo can.
You ever drift through 2 lanes of oncoming traffic while firing 2 semi-automatic weapons from the back of your bike at another person?
Why would you shoot another person?
Because that's how you win, son.
Oh, okay. Well,
And Romeo's a winner.
sounds really violent.
Well, then don't get in the way. You just relax. I'm not sure you're fit to sit on the back of a bike. Enjoy the view.
I'm not a racer, so it makes sense. Listen, I'm just here to write a story, okay?
Oh,
And if Romeo's the thing, then Romeo's the story.
Romeo will give you a story.
All right. So is this thing gonna start soon, or?
Yeah. Okay, so you guys are kind of mingling about. And again, obviously not knowing who Romeo and the motorcycle or much about motorcycles. Most of the people you do talk to, even though they're kind enough to you, you're charismatic enough, they're still kind of rude to you or snub at you because you don't know certain things or certain faux pas within this group.
Sure.
Within about 15 minutes or so, the huddle around Romeo starts to break open. He gets off his bike, or he taxis his bike up to where his position will be at the very end of the line of bikes getting started, and then steps off, walks over to Duchess and gives her a big kiss. As you see him walking over towards Duchess, you notice that he's got this thick chain necklace around his neck, and on the necklace it looks like there are 4 different rings.
Do we recognize any of them?
Hard to tell with the lighting and everything like that. You're assuming though that the ring is on that necklace.
Okay, so I'm gonna message Statrix and see if he can find a picture of the Hadid signet.
Okay. Within about a minute, you get a couple image responses back.
Okay, so we know what it looks like now, so that means that if we see it, we could potentially recognize it. Hey, what you kind of like send a message or like talk to Minos. You got any where that help you see those things?
Not really.
Uh, so I'm gonna try to squint and see if I can make out anything on the rings.
Okay. Perception?
Okay, and this is a visual test.
Do you have low light or anything like that?
I am an elf.
Awesome.
Oh yeah, there you go.
All right. Yes, it is. It is one of the rings on one of the far ends of the necklace. So it looks like it was just recently acquired.
So I'll look over at Minos and be like, yeah, I see it. It's there, right on his necklace.
All right, great. So we know where it is.
Now we just need to find a way to get it.
Yeah, this would be a bad place to get it though.
Yeah, maybe we could, I don't know, stop him in mid-race or something?
Hmm. Is his who's working on his bike, or is anyone working on his bike,
Rhaegar is there.
or is it just sort of there?
No, Rhaegar is there with his
Oh,
bike,
okay.
with Romeo's bike. I mean, there's like I said, there was about a dozen people. 8 or 9
Yeah.
of those were like a pit crew mechanic types. Rhaegar was one of those.
Well, we could put a stealth tag on it.
You have a stealth tag?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, totally, that would work. I can see if I can get close enough to put that on there. I would like to try to do that. So, like,
Doing
I,
it fender well.
yeah. So, like, put my hand up. Like, come on, let me see it.
Yeah. I'll
And
hand it to you.
I'm gonna try to stealthily slip that onto the bike somehow in this press of people.
Okay. Do you have the palming ability?
I
Or
do.
okay, I think that'd work perfect for this.
Okay. Let me take a look at palming. Indeed. Okay. So I forgot I do have locksmith, so I could just break into that place at some point. So D6.
Oh, we don't need to now.
Oh, that's not very good.
Low on edge. Low on edge.
I have an edge I could use. Do you think that it's worth it to spend it right now?
With one success?
Yeah, probably. Okay.
I mean, this is
There's
so
at
we
least a
can
dozen
trace
people
him
there.
back to
Any
his
one of them could
place.
see you.
All right. So 3 total.
All right.
Better.
3 total successes. Okay. No one mentions anything to you about it. No one immediately rips it off the bike or anything, so.
I mean, so if they did see it, they don't have a problem with it. It's fine.
Right?
Yeah, he's probably just touching the bike. He likes bikes. It's fine. Yeah, and so just kind of melt away back into the crowd, back to the onlookers next to Minos, and just nod like, okay, we got it.
Okay. Yeah, after his good luck kiss from Duchess, Romeo goes to get back on his motorcycle, and like I said, he was already taxied up to the queue, so they're ready to start the race.
All right.
So-
I'll check and see if that tag's working.
It does seem to be, yes.
Great.
So I'll look at Minos and be like, so is he got a really good bike? Because I don't know bikes.
I don't know. Maybe. Sure.
It looks
So
a lot
I
like
guess-
Statric's bike from
Okay.
back in the base, only this one is definitely more modified.
Yeah. It seems to be.
Oh, okay. Well, hey, just if you get a sense of how good he is while he's racing, just let me know because I have no idea what to look for.
All right.
So this doesn't sound like this is just a normal race, though. Is this combat biking?
No, this is the C-turn, so this is a typical race without weapons.
Okay.
They only use weapons in like the half pipe race and another one. So
Yeah, I don't know anything about combat biking or racing in general, so neat.
all right, so the race starts then. Unless you guys want to
Yeah,
do anything else.
I mean, we'll yeah, we basically have an understanding of the layout of the race, right? Of the
Yes.
track.
Yep.
So we can stay kind of, especially with the GPS on his bike, we can keep a distance on the side streets, yet stay in relative close proximity to the bike. That way, should it stop or he be jumped by someone else or something else happen, we could be close enough to get it off of him.
Yeah. Well, and
Well, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, so at one side of the racetrack, there is a large van. On the side of the van, it has it's opened up and it has mounted maybe like 45 different 12-inch to 16-inch TVs, like monitors, and each of these has a different camera view. And these are camera views from different places along the racetrack, which are obviously traffic cams. And then in the back of the van, there's actually a guy still in his knight errant uniform who is obviously been bought to upload or to show this secure footage to these people for the race, so that way they can watch the race basically through the traffic cams of the grid.
So there's a knight errant uniformed officer there.
Yes.
Could I surreptitiously take a picture of him with my comlink? Do they have cameras on comlinks, or do you need an actual camera?
Yeah, I assume that they do.
Um, I don't actually. I'm not going to. I don't want to cause a scene or anything. Um, but that is interesting.
He is tucked away in the back, but yeah, you're pretty sure that's highly illegal for him.
Maybe kind of sweep by him and see if I can get a badge number or something.
He's not wearing his badge, although he is in his uniform.
Okay.
He was smart enough to do that.
That's okay.
He's also
Then
wearing
I
a
will-
bandana, so you can't see most of his hair. So it's not like he's completely
Okay, so he's incognito, but
not
a
really,
presence.
Yeah. Obviously, just got off work. Yeah.
okay. Well, here's the question, Minos. Do we want to smash and grab him on his bike?
Mm-mm.
No?
Nope. That's
So-
going to be way too dangerous because this guy's going to have plenty of feet. There's going to be a lot of other racers. They'll stop and help. We've got a tag on his bike. We can just follow him home.
That's true. That's true. I never. Yeah. Okay, that works. And maybe he'll just get super drunk after his win, and then we can just roll him.
Yeah. So we stay sort of close, and go from there. Maybe he parties after his win and or lose. But if we could take him alone somewhere, that'd be best. Just even without him knowing, just knock him out from behind. Go from there. Quick
Cool.
snatch and grab.
Works for me.
So we're
Alright.
definitely not interfering with the race, but now you're going to follow him with your vehicles, or you are going to follow him on the video cameras.
In vehicle. If you want to stay here, Magpie, or you can come with, but I was gonna follow him, stay off on some of the side roads, not get in the raceway in any means. That way it wouldn't be obvious that I'm following him, but I have a GPS tracker on him, so and I know the basic layout of the course, so I can maintain sort of that about where he is.
Just stay near him.
Yeah.
In your heads-up display, it's easily done. There's a three-dimensional map of the city, the streets, and there's already a highlighted layout of where the racetrack will be.
Okay. And I'll just stay off the track. And I
Statix
should be
actually
able
will
to follow
put
him.
a couple color-coded circles on the racetrack, just so you know, like where the race intersects oncoming traffic or crossing traffic, things like the more dangerous spots.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna stay here and try to just talk to people and do the act of being a reporter as kind of my reason for being here and not knowing about racing.
Good.
And see if I can just get any more information from these people or get contacts, make buddies, that kind of thing.
Okay. Yeah, especially giving out the reporter story. People are very interested in talking to you. Obviously, they give you all sorts of fake names and things like that. Or when they talk to you, they put a bandana over, from their nose down, stuff. Just that way they're more inconspicuous. Can't
Sure.
be as easily identified. But yeah, they're pretty open. Even though it's entirely illegal, they really don't care. They're happy to talk to journalists and get the word out on this.
And part of the story I'm guessing is that I'm like a Vice reporter, so I'm used to dealing with people doing illegal things. I never use names. It's all about the story. It's not about the other stuff.
Yeah, perfect.
Can I make a roll of some kind to get some useful information as opposed to just kind of that's what I'm doing?
Yeah, go ahead. Is there a specific type of information that you're looking for?
Well, I'm trying to find information about Romeo because he seems to be the important one and definitely our target for getting that ring.
Okay.
So just any information I can get about him that may be useful in the future. So I don't know if I'm rolling con, etiquette, or impersonation.
Let's do etiquette.
Okay. And so they can smell me, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So just to let you know, so I've got 12 etiquette, first impression. So the first time I meet people, I get a bonus, and then tailored pheromones.
Nice. 4 successes. All right. Yeah, the more important information you can discover about Romeo is Romeo, it's rumored that he was a puppet master for Seder crew back in the day when he was younger. And this might have been where some of his rigor improvements came from, because he definitely is a hardwire jacker to the bike.
It's interesting because the only corporate knowledge I have is Seder
Seder
Crew.
crew.
Perfect. That's interesting. So he was maybe, he's a rigger. So that's probably a good reason why he's a really good biker.
Yeah, and having access to more higher end gear through Seder, probably where he also gets his edge, having faster reflexes, the top of the line rigor port, things like that. No lag.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So he's probably wear to the gills. Okay.
That's what you're guessing.
So I'm much less interested in getting into a fight with him now. But yeah, so that's what I'm doing while the race is happening,
All right.
and then watching, of course.
Yeah. Well, and it's a good race. Minos, if you're not interfering, basically the race is really tight going through several of the corners, things like that. It's not until the final one of those circled spots that Statrix gave you. It's a larger spot where they have to cut across 4 lanes of traffic, 2 going either way. And they're doing so at well over 90 miles an hour when they do. Romeo is in second place as he's coming into this area, but first place gets sideswiped by a Honda and almost disintegrates the bike. Because, he's going at 90, this car's probably going at 45, 50 miles an hour, and like I said, basically disintegrates the bike as it just sideswipes him. The grid didn't have time to guesstimate that impact and properly brake for the car. Romeo swerves around, obviously, as some of the other cars on the grid, the automatic driving apparatus starts to stop many of the other vehicles on the road for the collision, the detected collision, and this causes a huge kerfuffle amongst the other bike riders. But Romeo has no problem, just almost laying his bike completely down on his side to make some of these turns as he just weaves in and out through the vehicles, continuing on his way to the end of the track, and secures a win for the home team, the Crack Rocks.
So we're getting the impression that he really is what these people say he is.
Yeah, it was a pretty spectacular race. Not his best, but it had some highlights. Not the least of which is that guy getting disintegrated.
Yeah. There's no gunfire, so there's that.
Yeah. A little less of his flavor, but still fun.
Cool. And yeah, so I think we're gonna keep close to him as much as possible.
All right. Yeah, everybody goes back to the bar that night to celebrate, pretty much.
Okay, and I wonder if he lives here or not.
He does
Guess
go
we'll
back
find
to
out.
the clubhouse.
Okay, so if he lives here, that will complicate things. But at least we know where he lives. I think I'm gonna go take a quick nap in my car, waiting for the night to wind down. I don't know what your plan is, but it's gonna be a while before anything goes off.
Well, is that what we want to do? Take him to his house?
I think so.
Because at the clubhouse is just not going to work.
Yeah, but if he lives here,
He lives at the clubhouse.
we don't know. We're gonna have to wait. Or if he passes out here and doesn't go home, that'll change things.
So yeah, obviously he's going back to the clubhouse to celebrate and have several beers, whatnot. What do you guys want to do during this time?
There's no way you get it off his person, could you?
I doubt it. Uh, he's not wearing it, so it's like getting
He's
it
kind
off
of wearing it.
his. Yeah, he's not wearing it on his finger though, right?
Yeah.
It's on this necklace, and palming that would be really hard, especially considering I'm not like an amazing sleight of
Yeah.
hand artist. Um, maybe just hanging out and partying with him would be a
Sure.
good step.
Something may come up.
Yeah. So yeah, I think we're gonna do that, and then just hang out. Maybe buy him a beer,
All right.
introduce myself, continue with the journalist angle.
Yeah, Romeo seems like a nice enough guy. He's a little bit older. He's almost 40, you'd say. Late 30s, early 40s, somewhere in there. He he drinks heavily. He's celebrating. He's pretty amped up, adrenaline rush still after going through that. He's very honest about the race. Man, that other guy was doing great. I didn't think I'd be able to pull it out there in the straightaway. I didn't know if my bike would be fast enough or not until that Accord hit him. It was real close. So, and that's pretty much how he talks about it. So it's not like he's over exaggerating or anything. He's still fairly humble in this victory.
So kind of listen to him talking, and then walk up with the beer and like. Actually, maybe I'll get a sense of what he's drinking. Is it beer?
Yeah, he's a beer guy.
So come up with a beer and hand it to him, and just in German, Wie geht's, Herr Romeo? Guten Nacht.
Ah, guten. Sprechen.
Like a little bit, not
Yeah.
not a lot.
He obviously speaks a little bit of German as well. I don't. So
Yeah.
he goes off, and just says a few polite things in German with you though.
And then switch to English, which I'm obviously much more comfortable with, and introduce myself and tell them about I'm writing a piece about the underground racing scene, and the sense I'm getting is that you're the one to talk to. You're the big shot.
A piece. What are you doing here exactly again? As he snaps his finger and has a couple other men step forward.
I'm writing it's kind of an investigatory, like I wrote about fashion, I wrote about urban brawl. This is the next thing. People are really enjoying this kind of thing. Figure people want to know.
Right. Where can I look to see this? Where can
Well,
I
I mean-
read this report of yours?
It's not published
Well,
yet.
when it will be. Who do you write for?
Uh,
I want to
I'm
know
gonna-
more about you.
more about
when
me.
he says this, you feel a little uneasiness inside, like, ah, shit. Like, he
That's
doesn't
okay.
seem to be falling for it as much as the other people did.
Right. I'm a freelancer, so whoever will buy the piece is really where it's going to go.
Yeah. Other pieces you've written, maybe I could read.
Sure, and kind of send a message to Statrix on my comlink while I'm talking to him.
You can hear
Um,
Statrix like typing.
Yeah.
I'm working on it.
Oh, I've had a couple of pieces go up on, and then like make up like a culture website, or not make up, like there's got to be a few out there,
Yeah.
like underground cultures, like BBSs. I've done a few pieces here and there. Nothing huge, but something.
Yeah. All right, I'll have to check that out, Have a seat.
Sure.
What was your name?
Oh, me, Johnny Crew.
Johnny Crew.
Yeah.
Johnny Crew. Crew. I'll call you Crew. I like that.
Okay.
You come in with this big fellow behind you? I know
Oh, yeah,
Minos
yeah, yeah.
isn't like hovering over you, but he's there in the background. Romeo's obviously pointing at Minos.
Yeah.
Yeah, my boy
Yeah, he's
said
with
the
me.
two of you came in together.
Well, you guys, you're known for being a pretty rough crowd. I didn't want anything bad to happen.
Oh, so he's your hired muscle?
I mean, he's my buddy. He's not a hired muscle. I just felt more comfortable with him around.
I can get that. I feel more comfortable with him around too. Maybe he can earn some of my cash. What's he
Sure,
think
sure. I
about
mean,
that?
let me invite him over. Minos, come here. All right.
Okay.
I'm gonna use a different name instead of Minos. How about Roberto? Roberto, come here.
Wow. Yeah, sure.
Perfect. Hey, Roberto. Crew was just telling me about you.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Big guy, what do you do for a living?
As little as possible.
Don't we all? Man, just looking at you, how exquisite. How much chrome you got in you? If you don't mind me asking.
A little bit.
A little bit. Man, magnificent.
What
do you
obvious
say you
chrome
sit
do you
around
have?
here? Hang out
Actually,
with
I don't
us.
have anything visible.
Oh, you don't have anything visible?
No.
Oh, okay, I thought you did. Sorry.
No, it's a blend of bio and cyber. But everything's headwear and bioware. And bone lacing.
Okay.
So, bone lacing's the big one.
So you don't bounce or anything like that?
Not often. I mean, I don't know. Just a nice guy.
I've never seen you fall far enough for that.
He's looking at the back of your hands, things like that. He's obviously eyeing you up and down, whatnot, assessing your skills. But all right,
Why? You need someone?
always, always in need of good help, especially with the way things been nowadays.
Like a 9 to 5?
Something like that.
I think he means more like a 9 mil. Yeah, Roberto's he's good in a pinch. You would do pretty well have him working for you.
Yeah. So how can I help you with your story, friend?
Well, I was talking to people, and your name just kept coming up, saying
Good. I
he,
like
he's the
that.
best thing on two wheels. He's like a chrome centaur. So, just not an actual centaur. That'd be weird. But
I hadn't heard that before, but I like it. I like it.
yeah. So I was just thinking. I got to talk to the man himself because these people they like you a lot, but they don't know the real story.
Not always the truth. So, what kind of story can I help you with? You just want to know about the racing, why I race?
Yeah, that kind of thing. You're so much better than everybody else, but there's got to be a reason. It can't just be you press the throttle the best.
Nah, it obviously ain't about that. You have to feel the bike. You have to know the courses, you know? It takes a lot of experience. Bikes are a good thing, but anyone with money can have a nice bike. Plenty of chumps been coming through here can tell you that. It's the driver that makes the race.
Yeah, I was hearing somebody tell me his story recently about some rich kid who came in and couldn't handle himself.
As he smirks,
And
he tucks a thumb under his necklace and kind of holds it out there just so you guys can even get a good glimpse at the 4 rings. It looks like 4 different house rings almost. It's like, yeah, here's all the little losers right here. Keepsakes.
oh, more than one. Rich kids think they can hang, and you just humiliate them, I guess, right?
Yeah. I mean, I could take their bikes, but who wants that trash? I know it's been modded out, they've been tricked out, but there's no heart, no soul in those things. Just dead machinery as far as I'm concerned.
Plus, your bike.
Right. Not replacing her anytime soon.
So like I'm looking at the rings when he puts them up, and recognize Hadid. Do I recognize any of the other sigils?
Not offhand.
Okay,
I don't want to come up with that many names right now.
sure. Well,
But
I'm
definitely the
trying to
Hadids is the last one on there.
yeah. So he's clearly done this before. I wonder how the
And he
other
likes
houses
showing them
react.
off, like how he holds it, thumbs it out to you. You've seen him do this a couple other times. He definitely likes showing this off. This is how they suspected he was using this as power. This is a power play for him.
Yeah.
These are other big names here in the neighborhood, and they're nothing to me. They're weak. That's how he's using it. About this time, Duchess comes in. She's holding 2 beers. She comes in, kind of sits across his lap, not trying to interrupt the conversation or anything like that, but joining in with you guys while she sits on her boyfriend/husband's lap, whatever.
Oh, hello.
She's only there for maybe like 10-15 seconds. You're doing the hellos or introductions, whatnot. He's like, hey, this is my girl Duchess. When another taller elf, or 5'9", 5'10" elf comes into the room. This is the guy you recognize from the he left the Papal office earlier. He's the
Yeah,
one bitching
that
about
guy.
money. He walks up without saying anything, although he's obviously eyeballing the two of you. He gets close enough. Romeo reaches a hand into his leather jacket, pulls out a thick wad of cash, and just throws it right into the face of this other guy.
He just hits him with cash, huh?
Basically, yep, just a big wad of it, kind of all rubber banded together. I told you we'd be set, didn't I? I said, piss off now.
Well,
Was that your landlord?
As he turns to face you, let me go ahead and get initiative rolls out of all of you.
oh, that's fun.
Was it something I said? All right.
All right, Minna says the 23. And is that your 18 there, Magpie?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Perfect. So, Minos, the 23 goes off very first. So you kind of have to hold action. And so this is, you're starting your statement.
I'll
What
hold
is
for
he?
interrupt.
Like your landlord. And in the corner of your eye, the elf that just had that money thrown in his face, he just is like looking straight ahead for a second, like unmoving, doesn't quite know what to do. And then that hesitation is gone. Motherfucker pulls out a pistol right then and there, just like putting it basically in Romeo's chest at fast
All right,
speeds. His initiative was 22, so you can actually
Okay.
interrupt him. But I mean, that's what his
I will
action
try to
is.
disarm him.
Okay, you're probably gonna need more than 4 successes on this one.
Yeah. Well, we'll make this happen. Let's see. Here.
Although you are getting good with this disarm trick.
Yes.
So let's see.
The gun is a Taurus Omni 6.
So all you need it's the test successful in your strength plus net hits exceed the physical limit.
Yes.
Oh, strength plus.
Strength plus net hits.
Yeah.
Exceed physical limit.
So your
So,
strength
I
is
mean-
already what?
Yeah, it's basically
10?
if I hit,
You get
if,
it.
if I hit and they have a strength of under 10 or 11 or their physical limit
Yeah,
under a 10,
easily.
I mean I'm taking I'm just pulling it from their hands.
Yeah, he's got a 6.
It's a physical
because he has a
okay.
really good physical limit for his size, for an elf and whatnot.
Ugh.
So okay, I'm not accepting a 35 though.
It's 2 hits.
I can't get this thing working right. Here we go.
So combined
Which
with
of
your
the
strength,
two or
that's
the-
way more than enough. You basically almost crush his hand, right? Because you snatch the revolver out of his hand so fast, it almost breaks his hand. You almost take the whole hand with you.
Well, what
Okay.
it's versus reaction plus intuition, right? Because it's essentially an attack.
It would be an attack. So it would be, that's just defending an unarmed attack, which is.
Does his number of successes subtract from yours?
Yeah, it's just like a regular attack.
And if my attack succeeds, then the number of hits plus my strength, if it's higher than his physical limit, I grab the gun.
Okay, so I have 4 successes. So that subtracts 4 from you. Is that correct?
1 net hit, which means he does it.
Wait, plus your strength though, right?
Right, but so it's 11, and is that better than his physical limit?
Yeah, way better. So
then
Okay.
yeah. So
then yes.
Like I said, you almost crush his hand as you rip the revolver out of it. His eyes like get wide because I mean, we're talking thousandths of a second that all of this happens.
So my other hand will go through his throat.
Okay, Romeo goes off on 18, and he's also going for his revolver, and he has it most of the way out by the time initiative 16 comes off, which is you, Magpie.
I'm also an 18.
Oh, sorry, I thought you were 16. That's right. Yeah, go ahead.
So I think.
So Romeo's still pulling out his revolver at this time.
I am going to take this opportunity to act like I'm super scared and dive under the table.
All right. So you have to dive under the table during this turn?
Yeah, so take cover.
All right. Yeah, perfect.
If I'm a reporter, I'm not like a hardened fighter.
I like it. Yeah. So that's how the scene plays out. Minos, it comes back to your initiative, but you're not exactly sure how much more fight this guy can have in him if you've disabled him like that.
Okay, I'm just gonna hold him.
Like
Wait
hold
for
him,
any other
lift him
moves.
up off the ground, or he's an elf. He's pretty light. You could probably actually just pick him up by his arm.
Sure, why not?
Okay. So yeah, once you're holding him off the ground, there's almost nothing he can do except kick and squirm, right? So and you're holding what's left of the pistol in your other hand. You squished it pretty good, but it should still work.
What are you doing pulling a gun? So are we out of combat? Or?
Yeah, we can be out of combat.
Okay.
Romeo has his gun out, but I mean, he too is like, holy fuck, that is fast. I told you I'd have a position for you. And he kind of, as he's smiling up at you, he slowly starts to lower his pistol or revolver and reholster it. The other two security officers, the two people that work in security, kind of rush over like, how did this happen so fast? And they are willing to take the elf from you if you'll release him to their care.
Yeah, I'll drop him.
Yeah, and they pin him to the ground immediately on his stomach, and they just keep him pinned there waiting to see what Romeo wants to do with him.
And then from under the table here, is it over?
Yeah, and Duchess is getting back up too because she tried to duck under the table as well. Yeah, so the two of you, yeah. Huh.
I think I'll help her up.
Okay.
Because of getting up. Just because, like spread the pheromones into her as much as I can.
Yeah, she stands up, or she doesn't take her seat on Romeo's lap again. She just kind of stands up behind him with her hands on his shoulders. Thank you, Roberto. That was amazing.
Yeah, thanks.
Told you it was handy to have around.
I'll
He is.
I'll drop the gun just on the table or whatever.
Okay. Yeah. Romeo's like, man, that was my business partner. How about you boys take him out back and break a few things? But don't hurt him too much. I still want to talk to him tonight. And yeah, that's what they do. They start taking him to the back of the church.
That looked real personal.
Yeah, we've been arguing about money for quite a while. I didn't think it'd go this far, though. I mean, he's always been loyal, but too big for his pants nowadays.
That looked like more than just wanting to scare you.
I mean, it's happened before. In my line of work, you don't get to be the biggest name on the streets in bike racing without people taking shots at you. Everyone wants
Sure.
your title.
So do you run this crew?
If you can call this running it. Most of them stay together as a loose-knit conglomeration, but
'Cause, we heard you guys are like, making a name for yourself around here.
I mean, I do what we can. I keep winning the races. We keep getting more of a name. More people keep coming around.
Well, plus there's that little side job you do of pissing off rich people.
Yeah, unintentional. They come into my world, they have to learn their lessons, same as anybody else.
It's about respect, right?
Exactly. Speaking of, any motions? Bring in some more drinks for my friends here. I owe you more than that, though. Minos, you especially. What can I do for you guys? There has to be something. Maybe you saw a pretty bike out there? My life's worth a lot more than a bike.
Yeah. I don't know. You know what? I'll have to think about it.
All right. I'll remember you.
Yeah. Kind of, slap him on the shoulder, like, yeah.
Yeah,
What's up, Roberto?
you both believe you have a good rapport with Romeo now.
Okay. Well,
It's kind of like typing out a message in the comm link to Minos, like, favor equal ring.
yeah, you know. I say we call it a night. It's late. I have to get my beauty sleep.
And, Roberto's really, you may be right about that. Romeo, it was real nice meeting you.
You boys are done so early, huh? I hope I'll be seeing you back.
Really.
Oh, yeah. This place is, it's a bundle of fun. Hopefully
I've
next
got
time
a,
less guns.
I've got a secondary comm link with a number. I'm gonna give him my number and say, let me know if you need some help with anything.
Always, always.
All right. No.
As you
We're
give him
heading
the
out.
information, he basically just transfers it to Duchess.
Okay.
Why don't you actually make a perception roll on her? Both of you can do that as he hands her that information.
What kind of perception?
Visual.
Oh,
Oh, holy crap. Yeah. So,
okay.
Magpie, you easily notice. Minos, you notice that she's not, or that she's a little different. Even though she's very tall, beautiful, she probably has like a lot of cosmetic work done on her to be that way. Magpie, you notice that she has a lot of internal cybernetics. Like the way that her eyes move and dilate and things like that. It's very obviously not a natural eyeball. It's obviously some sort of augmented eye.
So she is way more than she appears.
Yes.
Interesting. And I'm guessing high grade cyberware because it's really not obvious.
It is extremely not obvious. Yeah, you're guessing it's at least alphaware, maybe even better.
Wow. Okay. Definitely does not fit in this setting.
Well, he's ex-satyr, so who knows where she comes from. She's also in her early 30s to late 30s, so hard to tell with how much cosmetics she's done. She actually looks like she's still in her early 20s.
Yeah, she could be 60 for all we know.
Yeah, she's just aged a little bit, kind of right near
The
the
imitation.
eyes, around the nose and mouth.
Always check the elbows and the backs of the hands. That's where you can tell. And did they have any trace of an accent or anything?
Who?
Romeo and Duchess.
Yes, but they have the accent I'm trying to use is kind of weird. It almost to me sounds more like a New York or Brooklyn accent. But basically, they're just trying to be. They're like gangster or thuggish, and that's the tempo, the way that they talk. But they also mix in a lot of the Sidshi.
Okay, so they're tribal elves. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Okay. Well, I think noticing that, I'll just kind of like squint a little bit and then we head out.
Okay. And obviously he spoke the German when you did too. So.
Yeah.
Seder. All right.
As we kind of get away, just talking on comlink, like, there's a couple of ways we could swing this. What do you think?
Well, we can't just very well just say, "Hey, I need to get that ring." Isn't that a little obvious?
I mean, it is a little obvious, but he owes you a favor.
Yeah, I say we call him in the next day or two, and say we call him the next day, and just tell him we're doing something against him. We got to figure out what it is, get some background on it, and go from there. Hey, maybe something that's involved with him. Tell him, we've got. We're putting together something where we can get access to the entire grid. It looks like that company does stuff for the traffic grid system.
Yeah.
So, if we can get access to that, we need the ring as basically a tool. One of the tools that we're going to use. We're going to figure out how we're going to use that. But the reward for him is that, we'll give him a backdoor access to what we're putting in, basically a secret door.
So my kind of thinking on that is, we say we weren't exactly truthful with you. Like, we're actually runners working on a job against the Hadids, and we need your help.
Well, I don't think we say that it's, untruthful. I'll just tell him. You're just a reporter.
Yeah, that could work.
And, I'm bringing you along because you have some certain other skills that, besides reporting and whatnot, you're really good at talking.
Statrix also suggests you could, as part of this story, you could say, Minos, that you were using Magpie as a cover since he's a reporter. You took a job with him to do the job, or to help protect him while he was going there because you wanted to investigate it anyways.
Sure. How's your disguise?
It's okay.
I mean,
not bad.
If we're gonna meet again, or, I figure he's either gonna let me have it, or if not, we'll have to come around, for something else. But it doesn't need both of us for him to hand it over.
That's true.
Necessarily.
But we do want to do it faster rather than slower.
Yeah, I want the bonus.
Me too.
So we'll call him tomorrow.
Yeah, make sure it's not too early because looks like he's going to be putting one on tonight.
Yeah.
Maybe do some legwork tonight, mapping the place out, figuring out best ways in and out of the area.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. Instead of going to my car, I'm going to walk down the block and then double back around the corner, go down the alleyways, and see if I can just scope the place out.
Yeah. While scoping it out, a couple of gentlemen do try to give you problems, but a quick flash of a weapon or some aggression, and they back down again. So it's definitely not the safest place. There's a couple people that would definitely mess with just the standard person out and about on the streets. So pickpocket, burglary, armed robbery, things like that are fairly common around here.
Yeah,
in fact, you probably hear a couple of screams throughout the night as people are either getting, assaulted or attacked in whatever way.
Fairly well trained in jiu-jitsu, so it wouldn't take much to discourage someone. Oh, the fireworks are starting. All right. Is there anything I can learn of use about this area?
About the area. I mean, it'll help you for things like driving and getting around, but unless I know kind of more of what you're trying to get out of it.
I'm basically looking at the clubhouse, trying to figure out ways in and out.
Oh, okay.
Um, Things like that.
Yeah, uh, because it used to be a church, and because it was a school, they would have several different entrances for bringing in, kitchen stuff or for unloading and loading students. So they've got one area for each of those kind of different special needs. So there's the front entrance, the two double doors. There's a side entrance which goes straight into the papal office, and then there's a back entrance which kind of leads into this back hallway, which is where like maybe the choir would sort themselves out or get ready as kind of like a standing area before moving onto that like 6-inch raised stage I was talking about, and a small choir could sing up there. So, and that hallway kind of just encircles most of the church, so that way you can go through that hallway along the pews or, back behind, like I said, where the stage is.
What about like higher floors or windows or roof access, things like that?
There's no roof access. It looks like there are two windows that you could open and climb into on the second floor. So you're not sure exactly where they would go to. It might be. It looks like it could be a room above the papal office, but if there is, you're not sure if you have to get to it by ladder, because there's definitely no stairs inside that lead up to it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, maybe I just don't have a really good sense of how the whole inside is set up, because then maybe they've done modifications of all kinds. Maybe things are kind of changed around now. Maybe Statrix could get a layout of the place on the Matrix somewhere,
Yeah, that should
like
be easy enough.
the original inspection blueprints or something.
Well, actually, Minos, when he was in there, he used his radar. So Statrix can just use that to create a 3D graphic image of the building for you.
So there you go.
Yeah, that'll work.
So, I mean, it's a little hazy in parts, but it's
Fairly.
good. What was the rating on
It's
your?
what.
It's like rating 15, isn't it?
So it is. I got too many windows open. Go down. Where are you? There it is. All right. So it's rating 3, so it can do. It would be 4 times. So is it 4 or 5 times? So it'd be 12. I can penetrate up to 12, a rating 12 something before it sort of diminishes. So if you go through a wall which is 4, and then another wall that's 4,
Yeah.
and then another wall that's 4, anything past that I can't go through.
And
So
most
that's
of the most of the inside of the church is made of wood and
okay.
woodwork, and then there's the stained glass windows, of course. And then the outside of the church is built up of old brick and cement, mortar, stuff like that. So,
hmm
and the parts of it that have had to been that have been rebuilt. So, from the inside of the church, when you do your scan, you basically get most all of it. Like, there's
Okay.
nothing more than wood basically between you and the brick. So,
Yeah, so I can
and there is no
put that
attic
into.
area, since that's where the two largest stained glass windows. There's one at the front of the building, one at the back, just above the two red double doors. So
hmm
those let in the majority of the light, and then, like I said, the only other two windows at the top or near the top of the building are on the one side where the papal office is.
Okay, so I can put that in as a. I've got an image link, so I can use that to see it. But I can send that image. Correct?
Yes, and it looks like there
Okay.
is a small office above the papal. About above that office. It looks like there is some sort of attic pull down ladder that you would use, some sort of device though. But that's how it looks like it's stacked, is an attic ladder that you pull down to get access to that part of the building.
Okay.
Did you see any sort of bed?
Negative.
with that radar? Like, I wonder if he, where is his bike still there during the night?
His bike does not stay there throughout the night. No, it does drive about seven. Let's say about 9 blocks away to another parking garage.
So maybe we need to follow that and see if that's where he's going home.
And
Yeah.
that's at about 3:50 in the morning that his bike leaves to that location.
Well, I mean, there's two ways of doing this. We can either snatch and grab and basically strong arm him. We could just ask him and go with that one, or, we could try something else. Something else is I don't know what.
Well, here's the thing, right? So if he's going to his house and he lives like alone or with Duchess, that cuts down the amount of people who are going to be involved way down, right? But Duchess kind of scares me at this point
Okay?
because she's stuffed to the gills with like high grade wear, and I don't know what it does. But I am confident that if we were to speak to him at his home while he is alone, then that may be just the easiest way to do this.
Okay. So if we take this angle, we just show up at his house and tell him we need that ring.
And
I mean,
apparently we know
or-
where you live.
Yeah, because
Oh, and by
that's
the
what we're
by-
going to do. We're going to go to his house and go, I need that ring.
Or
You're going to give it to me. Otherwise, I'm going to pound you into the ground here.
that's one way to do it, or sneak in and steal it. Because if he's been drinking a ton, maybe he's drunk.
Okay?
And then plan B of
I
that
don't sneak very
scenario. Right. So you're like outside the door. I sneak in, and then if worse comes to worse, I go and open the door for you to do smashing. You know,
Okay?
that seems like
Whichever you're more comfortable with.
It seems faster to do that.
Okay? Or we could always just ask him. He owes me a favor.
Maybe go to his house
we
and
can-
ask him.
We can come up with a long, intricate plot of it. Have someone create a fake of it. Give it back to him. All's well and good.
That's a lot of work, though. See, I mean, we should work to our strengths, which is yours is literally strength, and I mean, I could con somebody out of almost anything, but your
But the-
original plan had me as kind of the patsy.
But the thing of it is that, I mean, he didn't really do anything wrong.
Right, which is why I like the idea of just taking it. Listen, if you feel
Okay.
strongly about this, we can do it the other.
No. I mean, it's not a big deal.
If you're getting cold hooves, just let me know.
Wow. Okay. No, I don't. Yeah. No.
I guess we'll go there and see what his living situation is like, and we can make a decision then.
All right.
So I think that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go check out his place.
All right. Well, you travel to what you suspect is his place. Only when you get there, these are not apartment buildings. This is an apartment garage. A parking garage for a larger building of offices.
Offices.
Yes.
Interesting.
He's parked in 14C.
What's
There are actually a couple other motorcycles parked here as well. So it looks like it's almost a communal motorcycle parking spot.
Statrix? What kind of offices are in this building?
Looks like it's rented out by mostly private practice people. There's an eye doctor. There's a couple cyberware enthusiasts. There's 3 people that do BioWare cultures. Looks like they all work in the same office up on the 5th floor. I'm not exactly sure what else you're looking... Oh, wait, no, I got something here. Yep. We got some rare parts for sale. And some of these can be used as motorcycle mods or general car mods. and some armor stuff. I'm gonna guess that's what he'd be into. Looks like most of this stuff is in one corner of the second floor.
So he's going here to buy stuff.
Or work.
Or sell.
At 4 in the morning.
Sell. Oh, it's 4 in the morning. Well,
Yeah.
yeah. Well,
Looks
Can
like there's
follow?
only one entrance into the offices, though. There's an underground elevator shaft. Do you see that? Should be towards the center of the structure.
I can check.
You do see 2 back-to-back elevators in the
Okay.
center. You guys want to just let me know? I'll try to get the. I'll try to key in the command. Let you guys into the lift.
Okay.
Let's do it. Okay, so just FYI, I just realized that I have these glasses with like image link and stuff. So if he's sending in data, I can see it through there.
Perfect.
Cool.
Yeah. So on your heads-up display, after maybe 30 seconds, there's a little red dot that turned green, and he says, "All right, you should have access to the elevators now.
Okay.
You guys have custodial access, so you should have access to many of the rooms."
All right. So we go to the second floor.
He said the corner of the second floor, right? So we're gonna go check that out.
All right. So you go to the southeast corner. Statrix has kind of directed you there. This is my best guess for where you'd be, and there is, it's an office door, but there's no name on the office.
Okay.
And
Anyone
it looks
behind
like
there?
The lights are off. Either of you have an advanced form of hearing?
No. I do know a gentleman who can see through doors.
Why not? Well, let's do sound first. If any of you have dice at -4 for hearing,
Perception. Okay.
It would be just straight perception. -4 dice.
do you still have dice if you subtract 4?
Yes.
Ew.
No. So is that a botch?
I think doesn't it have to be half your
At least
dice?
half? Yeah, okay, that's right.
Ugh.
All right.
Neither of us succeeded.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
No
that's
successes, so you don't hear anything.
Do you like I like can do your thing?
maybe.
You ping it?
Yeah.
Okay. So it does ping through into the first room, and there's an adjoining room to the left. On the right-hand side of the room directly in front of you, it's rather large. It's probably 30 feet wide by at least 19, 20 feet deep. There's a smaller room to the left. It looks like it could be some sort of back office. And then also on the left is another small room, which obviously looks like a bathroom.
Okay.
Your vision does trail off further in that direction, but it looks like it's going into someone else's office, since you don't see any doors visibly leading from the bathroom or that other back office into the going further that direction. The adjoining room on the right-hand side of the main office, though, your ability does not seem to penetrate into that wall. First it hits the drywall and whatnot, but then you obviously hit something that's a much denser material. Could be iron, it could be steel.
Okay.
So either way, it's insulated, though.
So you can't see through it.
So I don't see any people here.
Yeah, I don't hear anything either. But they supposedly he came in here. Maybe hide somewhere and watch. Maybe
That's
I
if
can get
we're-
into the. I can
That's
get
if
into
we're
the
jumping him.
Sorry, what was
Okay.
that?
That's if we're gonna jump him. Which we could.
Well, also just the value of information in general, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
As you
So
guys are
there's
trying
that
to
one
figure
room
out what
that's-
you're doing, let's go ahead and make one more perception check.
Okay.
Same.
Yeah, this
Same
one's
modifiers?
visual based. If you have low
Oh.
light, it will help. If you don't have some form of low light, then it's at a -4. Sorry, -2.
Okay, so I'm getting my full dice.
So I've got one success. Oh,
Oh.
wow.
Right. Yeah. Well, Magpie sees it first, but then you do see it. It looks like there's a little bit of blood. Now it's not dry, but not quite wet. So it was probably, since it's just a few drops, it's had a little bit of time to dry, but not completely. You suspect that whoever caused this has been through here in the last half an hour or so.
Okay.
So
Well.
I'll point it out to him.
You also shouldn't touch blood with your dry hands like that.
Yeah.
Ew. So?
It's wet, sticky, and not yours. Don't touch it.
Yeah. This makes me very curious what's going on in that room.
Well, let's take a peek.
All right, I'm gonna whip out my locksmith kit.
All right, let's see some rolls.
Let's see. Is it unlocked?
It is not. It is locked.
Okay.
I think do toolkits actually give you a bonus or just let you do a thing?
I think it depends on the rating of it. I think you add the rating to your roll.
Let's see here.
Because I didn't get an option for buying a toolkit for a rating. I don't think. Yeah, it doesn't have a rating on this.
Okay, it probably just gives you the ability to do it then.
Okay. Locksmith. Okay. Two successes.
Now, is this an auto picker?
This is a locksmith kit.
Oh, okay. In the locksmith kit specifically, it'll probably say something like it has an auto picker with a rating of this. And in which case, the
Okay.
auto picker is the part that does give you the additional its rating to your lock picking service.
Okay, so yeah, because a locksmith toolkit I think is just lets you do a thing. And if you have an auto picker, then you can add stuff. But I don't believe that I have that.
Alrighty. So with your successes, though, that's more than enough. You do jimmy the lock open, rather
Okay,
quietly,
cool.
although not completely.
Sure.
You open up
and
into
then-
the office. As soon as you do, you notice that there are two desks on the left-hand side covered in miscellaneous, like mechanic parts. And there's some tall gray shelving, ugly gray shelving along the back wall. It also has miscellaneous things like, oil, rags, just the general type mechanic crap that you would have in here. The bathroom door is open. The light is not on. The office the small backroom office is locked with the light off.
Okay, let's just trying to sweep the room and see if we find anything.
The noticeable thing on the right-hand side door is this door is much more secured than the one you just entered in through. There is no glass on this door. It looks like it's a solid fit piece of iron or steel.
That's a serious door.
It also has two bars going across it. It looks like so you can when you magnetize the locking system, they like push into place and keep this door secured. Now that lock is on your side though, so that would keep people locked in, not locked out.
And is it tripped right now or is it?
It is
open?
disengaged at the moment. Although the door is shut, it's not locked, or it does not appear to be barred locked.
Okay.
So I'll look over at Minos and be like, I really hope that they don't keep a werewolf in there or something. Is that a thing?
Yeah, what's the worst that could happen?
Who would
We'll
do
go
that?
Open it up.
You open it?
Yeah.
Okay. As soon as the door even cracks open, you hear screaming coming from inside.
Ooh.
Sounds like bloody murder.
Okay.
Well, I mean,
You do
that's
see
bad.
light immediately starts coming from inside. It's this dull yellowish light. Now you just have the door open a crack at the moment.
Can I peek inside or see anything?
You open it about a foot to where you can get some of your head and horn in to where you can look into the room.
Or let
Or
the
magpie.
little guy, yeah.
Yeah, sticking your head in. Yeah, you do see this is a solid cement room, gray. Standing on the far side with his back towards the door, you see what looks like Romeo, just in his biker leather bottoms, and no shirt or top on or anything like that. He's got a chain in his right hand, and he's using it to whip surreptitiously the 5'9", 5'10" elf we saw earlier that night, who is chained by his wrists to the ceiling. He seems to be bleeding from many bruises and cuts all over his body, and that is definitely where the screaming is coming from. Occasionally, Romeo will stop to pick up some wads of cash and stuff it back in the screaming guy's mouth, who keeps trying to spit him up and continue his screams.
Is it just the two of them?
Just the two of them. From what you can see, yes.
And
is his back to us?
Romeo's back is to you, yes.
is
Okay.
he wearing a necklace?
You do see the necklace, yeah.
Perfect. I am going to.
His clothes are on a chair, kind of in the far corner of this room. There is shirt and jacket, top, whatnot.
Yeah, he needs a punch in the back of the head to knock him out.
Romeo?
This is kind
Do you have any gel rounds or like a narco jet?
me.
Yeah.
I have a taser.
Well,
I also have martial arts.
I mean, I could knock him out in one punch.
I would do that.
Pretty sure I could do this. So
How about you while you punch him, I
let's do
taser
that.
him.
Yeah, sure, that'll work. If it doesn't work, just hit him with the tase. Perfect. Or right before.
So you guys
So,
kind
like-
of rush into the room, or
Like I hold up my fingers, like go on 3, you know, like
Wait, are we going on 3?
after?
Like 1, 2, 3, or like 3, 2, 1? Is it 3, 2, 1, go?
just just nod, and then kind of push the door open.
Yeah. So, yeah, I will go ahead and roll initiative if I have to, but I'll sneak up on him and
Over the
and,
screaming, he really isn't going to be able to hear you guys. The only thing you have to worry
Okay.
about is that when he's going on his backswing with the chain, it doesn't catch one of you, alerting him to you.
Okay. So that's
And you
I'll
both
wait
have
till he
martial arts skills, so I'll assume you
makes
can.
one. So we'll and then I'll just give me an old dog punch.
All right. We want to go ahead and roll both attacks at the same time.
Sure.
You said
Yeah.
you were also going to tase him. Is that correct, Magpie?
I think so.
Do you want to wait to
Um,
see how the punch works out and then tase him if
Yes,
you need to?
I think so. I'm gonna take that time while he's punching him to aim.
Okay.
So 4 successes.
Yeah,
It's
he's
going to
obviously
be-
not going to dodge or anything like that, so he'll just get his body plus armor, which he's not wearing a shirt or anything.
He could have bone lacing too.
Still doesn't matter. It's it is sort of what it is. But
He's taking what, like
So-
16?
so that's going to be 12. That's 4 successes. It's going to be a 12 stun. I can go physical if I wish, but I'm not going to.
You want to do stun? Okay.
Yes.
So that's willpower then instead.
No, it's still resisted by body. It's just he's not trying to kill him.
Oh, okay.
Oh wait, no, it is willpower, but
Okay.
the damage resistance is body.
His body.
Yeah. Okay. So he resisted 2 of it. So he
Okay.
takes 10 stun,
Yes.
which, if I'm not mistaken, will pass him out. No,
Is it
no,
your-
It's close though.
It's it's going to be how many successes did he get to die to? Well, he's not missing. He's not.
No,
Don't the
he couldn't
successes
dodge.
added on?
Yeah, he couldn't dodge or anything like that. He's completely unaware of the attack.
Okay, so it's going to
So
be
he had two
12
successes
damage.
from his body.
Isn't your base damage 12?
My base damage is 12.
Yeah, so
So
you
it goes
do
up
16.
to 16.
Oh,
So you took
so
14.
his 2 armor is
stun.
now 14.
okay, yeah. So 14 will definitely render him unconscious. That goes into
Okay.
his starts going into his lethal bar too. So
Okay.
yeah, you hit him hard enough. You hear the back of his head crack. He flies forward. His head actually hits the head of the other elf in front of it, hanging in front of him. You hear both of their heads crack, and just the sudden sloshing of his brain. You see he immediately loses consciousness, kind of like a boxer that gets hit real well with like a 1-2
Yeah.
combo. Just out, loses his legs from underneath of him.
Is the other guy knocked out too?
The other guy doesn't seem very aware of what's going on. Consciousness is
Tase
something
him.
he fades in and out of.
I'm tasing him.
Okay. I don't want you to roll to hit him or anything like that. I just want to know what the damage is because I want to see if it kills him.
It's 7 stun.
Okay. Yeah. So he sits there and jolts for a few moments, and then his body just goes completely limp. You're not aware yet if he's alive or dead.
Actually, funnily enough, the wireless bonus on the taser gives me a readout of his
Vital
body vitals.
Awesome. So he does appear to be. He is still alive. He's in critical condition.
Okay, so what I would like to do is while Minos does whatever he's doing, like checking this guy to see if he's, alive or dead or whatever, I am going to whip out my first aid kit and make sure this guy stays alive.
When you say this guy stays alive, which one are you talking about?
The one that I just tased.
Okay. So
The guy hanging from the chains.
Okay. So you work to stabilize him. Go ahead and give me a first aid roll.
Okay.
Minos, what are you working on?
I'm going to grab the necklace with the 4 rings.
Okay.
I'm going to take all 4 of them.
Yep.
Okay, first aid.
And does he have any money? Any cred sticks on him? Or that money that he was shoving in the...
Yeah,
We'll take
there's
all
that
that, too.
money. It's,
Yes, we'll take all that.
Well,
And if he's got a cred stick on him?
it won't really do you a whole lot of good because it's like paper cash.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it'll do you some good, but it's mostly for what people use here in the local group. So you'll be able to use it in Seattle and whatnot. But there's we'll say it's 750 yen worth of money.
Okay.
Magpie, 3 successes.
So not trying to wake him up or anything, just make sure he doesn't die.
Yeah. Well, waking him up isn't like anywhere in the cards for him. So, but
Okay.
you think that he could survive long enough to get to a hospital if he was transported within the next couple hours.
Okay, so I actually really think this worked out well because neither of them saw us, really.
Yeah.
So we just take the stuff that we need, get out, call the ambulance.
Yeah, call Doc Wagon.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's what we do.
Or actually, you know what? Let's we'll unchain the guy and take him down a flight of stairs or put him outside.
Oh yeah, maybe
That way
right
they're
on the
not-
street.
Because I don't want the other guy. I don't want Romeo to get in trouble for this. He just,
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I like that.
Yeah, he's
Okay,
not a bad
yeah.
guy or anything, Romeo, right?
yeah. He's just a little sadistic. That's all.
He seems like a cool dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, so grab him and then let's get the hell out of here.
All right.
So, yeah, you cradle the unconscious, we'll just call him the random elf, and the two of you take off out the door.
Yep. Statrix. I'll give him a call.
All right. You call Statrix.
Can you wipe ourselves from any video feeds?
Yeah, actually, the cool thing about this building is there are no video feeds that I can find. I think the whole office is rigged not to have any videos.
Well, it's almost like they're professionals.
Okay.
I wonder who else uses these offices for such things.
I don't know. We need to keep this address in mind. This could be good.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, so you guys make your way out to the elevator. You said you wanted to put that guy down on outside or on the ground floor?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and call the dock wagon and
Is there like a bench nearby or something? Down the
Oh,
street?
yeah,
Out-
just down the street. Yeah.
out in the bushes or somewhere. I don't know, wherever. And then,
No.
do you have a spare phone?
Me?
Before we get that far, you are walking out of the parking garage to go set this guy somewhere. The two of you are together still. As you're walking out of the elevator, you're not even 10 feet out of the elevator. Walking directly towards it is Duchess.
Shit.
So she kind of is looking. She was looking down at something she was doing in her hand, and starts looking up immediately as the two of you notice her.
Yeah, well, we're. Oh.
Hey, Duchess, how's it going?
So she's got like food in one hand and keys in the other, and looks up and just, hey, Duchess, and she's like, immediately sees what's going on, and I think we'll pick up again here next week if that's all right.
All right.
Okay.